Hi, everybody. My name's Josh Enders, and for my assessment tool project, I worked with Google Forms. So for the assignment, the first thing I did was select my grade level outcome, and it's from Standard 5, S5, E3, 3 is the specific number. Description is reflects on the reasons for enjoying selected physical activity. I selected this grade level outcome because I knew that I was working with high school students and not this specific grade level that it connects with. And I knew that physical activity is across all grade levels as like a broad term. So like every grade level would be able to understand and figure out certain questions on a survey. The only difference was I created the survey that so the questions were more worded for older students than younger students, and the students could use their phones instead of younger students would who would probably have to just use one iPad that the teacher gives them. That's when I decided to use Google Forms because I liked how you could customize what you were doing with the survey, which I'll show you later based on what theme you're getting at. And it's very sharp and professional and easy to understand and navigate, not just for me creating it, but for the students trying to understand what they're supposed to be answering and how. After deciding on my grade level outcome that I wanted to address and the assessment tool that I wanted to explore, went over to Google Forms. Here's the one I created. But first, I went to a blank one, blank template. Here, I started by thinking about how I could customize it. So I went up here, and here you can choose your header, theme color, background color, font style. For a header, I knew I was working with physical activity, so I wanted to have a sport image of sort. So I used this one. Next, I decided how I wanted my questions to be oriented. Didn't really want multiple choice or any of these, but I did pick a linear scale. I picked 1 to 3, 3 being very good, 2 in the middle, and 1 being not so good. And I continued to add questions until I wanted the amount that I felt would make the survey most effective. You can import questions, you can add titles and descriptions. You can even add more than one. Here's to add more sections and add video. You can also make each question either required or unrequired. I had one that was unrequired, but most of the students answered it, and the others were required. So as you can see, it's fairly easy to navigate, and after you create this and have your students answer the questions, here you go to responses, and when you put accepting responses, oops. All right, so let me go back. When you say your accepting responses, they will flow in right there. Sorry, it's a little glitchy. All right, so then my final creation was right here, and it was titled, Why Do You Like Physical Activity? And there's the image. I chose my header. I wanted the students to fill in the number that said how much that reason means to them when they're selecting physical activity. 3, like I said, meaning a lot, 2 in the middle, and 1, it doesn't mean a lot to them. Just to make it look like your average survey, I had them put their name, but I didn't really include it in the responses or anything because it just wasn't that important unless I was looking at specifics. I was just looking at the general stats of it. The statements were physical activity makes me healthy, it gives me confidence, makes me feel happy, helps me build friendships, makes me feel less stressed, and helps me do a better job at my schoolwork. And then, like I said, the final question was, Tell me your main reason you think of when you choose what activity to do, if it's not already included up top, and why. And after having the students I was working with fill this out, went over to responses. There was 9 students I was working with. It was in a small class that's usually just boys, and makes me feel healthy. As you see, most of these were answered with a 3. It means a lot to them, these reasons. But then I thought it was interesting when the schoolwork piece, there were some ones and some twos more than the other questions. And I just think this is because most, high school students, when they think of physical activity, they don't really correlate, make the connection with how it can benefit their academic performance as well. And the last part right here is these are the specific reasons that the students said that they participate in certain physical activities and why. Overall, I don't have a whole lot of negative cons to say regarding this assessment tool. I think it's very easy to navigate, like I've said before, and customize regarding the theme you're trying to get at. Um, yeah, I just really enjoy, and I would definitely use it again in the future. I feel that it was easy for the students to achieve the outcome with explaining the reasons why they participate in physical activity. They were able, because they were able to understand the assessment tool, and I could explain it easy. Um, I feel that it gave them something to think about, why they do physical activity, because you do it, but you don't always think about why. For example, how it can correlate positively to your academic performance, um, how that confidence piece and other cognitive and affective concepts and aspects can connect to your physical activity, even if you don't think about it. And I'm just hoping that the students will think about that after this assessment tool. And this technology in general, it was definitely an effective way to reach the outcome. And I feel like since it's so customizable, that it could beat a lot of other outcomes as well. Like I said, I have to adjust it a bit to fit with high school students. And I think it would be interesting to implement it into the grade level that it was intended for in the national standards, and being able to see how the younger students respond in comparison to older students based around their reasoning for physical activity. I really enjoyed getting experience with assessing. We're working with technology because I've heard from past teachers, current teachers, that assessing your students in physical education can be difficult at points. So getting a jump start on that was a very positive thing, and I look forward to learning new ways to make assessments even more effective in the future.